And it's HTTPS Evently. Chat it to you. Just click on that, and we'll send me the same link that you're hitting. I wonder if for some weird reason like it doesn't give you access. Oops, I probably shouldn't show my Twitch dashboard. I click on your link, and it goes, "Hello world." I inspect. I go to the console, and it goes, "We did it." Se ha unido. Hola, ¿cómo anda, Gustavo? Se ha unido. Se ha. Okay, cool. So we got hello world, but you are not getting anything up onto yours. All right, here, let's try something here. Kill your server that's running this. So not the npm script, but the dist. Or the other one. I don't even know what that's called. That's Apache. That's what it's running. Wait, are you hitting run again? All right. Well, if you're hitting run, take a look here. I wonder if for some reason. No, you can see that. So if I go into collaborator, you have read-write access. Here, close that again. Oh. Okay, did you open up index.html? Dist index.html. Make sure that is selected, and then hit run. But close that window. Whoa, I think I can see I see where you're highlighted. It's purple. That's pretty neat. You can do it. We're trying out pair programming tonight. We're seeing if we can do this, build this together. I'll say run. You know what? I should probably lake it so they can hear you too. There we go. Oops. Properties.
I'm gonna close all the tabs.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. Welcome.
There we go.
Maybe I had the wrong one open. I'm not saying it's my fault, but
But it's definitely someone's fault.
it is probably my fault. Let me stop this.
Awesome. Jay, I like your name. Just Jay. Jay, are you a developer? As you're fiddling with that, I just got, I don't know if anyone could see this, I just got me a Raspberry Pi 3 today. And I'm going to be turning it into a RetroPie. Have you heard of those before, Lehigh?
Blech. Sorry, repeat. Raspberry Pi 3 what?
Just a RetroPie?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, well, I'm in the process. After we get done streaming, I'm going to be getting this guy loaded up so we can start playing some retro games.
Alright, I'm going to close all my tabs. Make sure I have the right terminal open.
Okay, I see you're doing stuff. Oh, you turned off our script. Whoa, I see you doing things. Crazy.
I just killed all the terminals that I had.
Gotcha.
Alright, now I have dist folder index.html, right?
Yep.
Run. Okay. Started, open. Still not the right page.
Huh.
What's the stink?
Jay, you want to see me turning this into a RetroPie? Is that what you're wanting to see? Okay. Well, how about this? Let's try something. You close all those tabs and let me run it.
All right.
Okay. So
I
yeah.
don't even have the project open now.
Wow, that's pretty intense. Okay. Okay, so it's turning on, starting Apache HTTPD, starting Apache 2. Okay, didn't give me any grief. Lehigh Thomas went offline. I just got a... So Jay says, I just got a Pi. I'd like to make automated stuff soon. Oh, way cool. Well,
Turn your house into a smart house.
I think that'd be cool. I think that's what should put into our desks as pies.
I do like pie.
But no, like...
Had to be at least one dumb pie joke.
Big Peeps, how's it going, man? We are pair programming tonight with Shark Fighter. But right now we're trying to learn how to get Cloud9. That's this editor that we're using, but it lets us pair program together.
Mother.
And so far, as you can hear, it's going swell.
That's source. I don't want. Wait.
Wait, okay, just open up that link again.
Oh, this is source index.html.
But don't run anything. Just click on that link.
That's what I did.
Oh, okay.
The one that was already open in the terminal when I opened the page. But I don't want source index. I thought I wanted dist.
Does it say? Because well, click on the one that's in our chat, Discord chat. Let's see if you can run that guy.
Discord chat. I get the same orange page.
Really?
Yeah.
Why does it hate you?
Oh. I got there.
They say my friend's really quiet. Oh, it's because I have him turned down. You turn that back up.
You turn me up right now.
Well, it's because sometimes I play music and I turn it down.
I have never been quiet in my life, and I will not start now.
God, why is it?
All right, I have Hello World open.
Hello World, and to say we did it.
Sure does.
Yay! Felicitaciones. All right. Well, I guess our next step. Let's just see if we can get, because this is bare bones. I came in, I abandoned using the React starter because it was giving me way too many things, and it was trying to run it locally, and it wasn't working in here. So if you look at the
Which one were you using?
I was using,
because when I was using some, it was npm install, and we were good to go.
Well, yeah, that's what it was. But whenever you ran it, npm start, it would. What was it doing? Oh, it was trying to start its own server, and since we were running it in this Cloud9, it was conflicting. And didn't know what it was doing. And
so it was Cloud9's fault.
It's Cloud9, and I'm sure I could figure it out, but not now.
All right, so what are we doing?
So just starting off, first off, Big Peeps, can you hear Shark Fighter now? All right, and as we wait for that to get through.
I go by Maverick on Twitch.
Oh, or Maverick. There we go. I just have you as Shark Fighter on here. If you look at the webpack config.js file, it's in the root of the project.
I'm sorry, was that one to me?
Yeah, that's it.
Sorry, talking to someone else. Sorry, one more time. What'd you say?
Go look at webpack.config.js. It's in the root of the project.
Webpack config.js. Got it.
Cool. All right, so just explaining. Do you know what's going on here? If you just take a look at it, what does it look like?
All right. Let's see here. A module exports. Exporting those into index bundle.js. Right now looks like we're only taking source dash index.
Yep, that's the index, or that's the entry. That's where it starts at.
Oh, gotcha.
It's kind of cool. I'll explain that in a second.
And then loaders, are those just outside packages that we want installed with it, or what?
Yeah, pretty much. So what it is the way Webpack works is you say, all right, I want you to start at this file. So we say, start at index.js. And it goes, all right, I'll do that. So actually, if I jump over to source.index.js, it's actually, there's nothing really in here. But let's open it up anyways. So in here, this is the root of the project. And have you imported other libraries in before? Where you say import blah from da da da.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Import React from React.
Perfect. So that's what it does is it comes into index.js, it sees that import, and then it goes over and says, all right, pull that in. And then if it has a link to say import blah from, and then you say like a path to a file in your project, it then Webpack then follows that path, goes there, imports everything there, and if that one says import something blah blah blah, it follows that.
Just goes down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, it follows this tree. So anyways, it's kind of cool. So it won't import any files that is not included, that's not somehow attached to index.js somehow. Does that make sense?
Right. If it's not a descendant of index.js, it's not getting imported.
Yeah, it's somehow not linked to index.js, whether that's directly or from some descendant that's linked to it.
Is that what the module loaders is for? It's just things that aren't going to be linked that you still need?
Not exactly. So the loaders, so Webpack is, let's see, dumb? That's not dumb, but it doesn't know what to do. It just says, I know how to look for these things that say import, and I'm going to follow those paths, and I'll go to them, and I'll pull them in. But I don't know what you want me to do with them. Like, if I come across a .js file, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm just going to pull it in. So that's where you pull these loaders in, and you train it. You train Webpack. So you say, all right, Webpack, whenever you find a file that has .js in it, so that's the test. Test, does the file have .js? And Webpack goes, yes, this file that you told me to import is .js. It says, great. Use the Babel loader and run that. Run Babel on that file. So it goes, okay, I got this thing. I'm going to execute Babel on it. I don't know what Babel does, but I'm just going to execute it. And Babel goes, all right, I'll take it from here, convert it to ES5 or whatever, and then it imports it into the main bundle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So the keyword Babel-loader, where is it assigning that to anything, or is that just something built into Webpack?
So we had to import that into the project. If you go into package.json, you'll see in the dev dependencies.
Yep.
I actually had to install that.
Okay.
So I did npm install Babel loader, and then in the Webpack config, this is where I'm a little bit confused. I wish they would do this. I wish they would say import Babel loader at the top here and then just include it down here, but it doesn't. Webpack is smart where it will go, oh, I see you want me to load Babel loader. I'm going to go to the node modules folder to find it. So it just does.
Okay.
Anyways, I wish it was more explicit where you had to tell it, because then that'd be more straightforward for us. You wouldn't have had to ask that question.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure how they knew what we were talking about.
Yeah, so that's that. And loaders always have to have something -loader. That's a thing of Webpack 3, their latest version.
Cool.
So then at the very bottom one, there's plugins as well, and this is something I'm still kind of figuring out how it works. HTML Webpack plugin config, and that's what we defined up here at the top. We brought in this thing, and it says source index.html, file name index.html, inject body. So that's telling it to inject the bundle.js into index. So if you look at source index.html, it doesn't have the bundle.js in here at all. But if you go to dist index.html, it got injected into it, into the body tag. So that's
gotcha.
That's what that last little bit did.
And then, yeah, and that's just the bundle, which is all of the compiled code from literally the rest of the files.
Yeah.
At least the ones that are branched underneath source index.html.
Yep. If you open up index.bundle, you'll actually see there's a whole bunch of gobbledygook, but line 73, there's the console.log. We did it.
Cool.
So, yeah, now you know how Webpack works.
Woohoo.
It's actually, I mean, it's really cool, but once you understand the magic, like, oh, okay, still cool, but the magic is gone.
Yeah, thanks for ruining it. I'll never be able to look at Webpack the same again.
It's a sad, sad day.
Next, you're going to tell me Santa's not real.
Well, no, just kidding. Okay. Well, so tonight, what I really want to try doing is I just want to build a component in React. Um,
Okie dokie.
then I want to just, after we build a component, I want to see if we can build routing just to go to 2 views. And then after we get like a dummy thing set up, we can come in and start putting Evently in. But let's do the basics. I'm super new to React, and I understand that you've been doing React just for a little bit. You've been going through some training. So I'm going to rely
If
on
you're
you.
super new, then I'd say I'm new.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Do you want to?
I would say I'm familiar with it, but I mean, yeah, I've done a handful of tutorials. I've been doing this stupid training for the past month in it. Well, actually, most of the training wasn't even React. It was a waste of time. But I don't know, messed around in it
Okay.
briefly.
Cool. Well, do you want to try? Do you want to kick us off by starting up a component for us?
Okie dokie. Let me kind of clear some of these extra windows.
Hacksaw came online. Hi,
was gonna say,
Hacksaw.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. But
Great.
welcome.
You got us hacked.
I guess anyone can come here, but I have to give them permissions.
Kick him out. All right. So source index. That is not actually what I want.
Hi, Hacksaw. That's cool. I didn't know you could actually jump right into here. So Hacksaw says hello, and then PDE 1996 says, "What kind of web app are you building?" So we are building. So, all right, a little bit of history about what we've done. We built a server called Evently, where you can get in there and create events. You can put a title in. You can, put how many slots there are going to be, like how many people do you want, like 5 people, and then you can do a start time. And you create this event, and then people can join in. So we built the API server for it, and we also built a Discord bot for it, and it works great. It's pretty cool. But now we need to build a web interface for it, so we're going to have a website as well. And that's what we're doing tonight. And Maverick and I are both fairly new to React, so we're going to be learning this together, pair programming it, and hopefully you guys can help us out too. Be great. And Hacksaw, they are public by default. Okay, cool. Are you just able to view it, or are you able to edit as well? All right, let's do this.
Austin's starting to sound a little worried. Wait a second. Can you edit my stuff?
That's all right. It's all good.
All right. All right. So we got React. I can't think of the word. I assume there it is. That you already have installed React here.
I hope so. Let's check. Check the package.json real quick. Nope. React is not installed yet.
Okay, let's get React and React DOM.
Okay. All right. So what are the commands you're typing in for that?
I haven't typed any commands in yet. I was just finishing those lines. I'm not sure about console 9. I mean, usually you can just do an easy. I mean, as long as we can do npm, right? Just do an npm install for React and React-DOM. And then we'll want a React-router-DOM.
Okay, cool. Oh, you can share the terminal, by the way? How do we share the terminal, Hacksaw? Maybe I have to do something? So you both see the terminal. How do we do that? I'm going to close mine. Are you sure you want to close this terminal? Yes. Closing this terminal will stop any process that it hosts. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not hosting anything. Right.
I don't even care.
Right side under collaborate. So I click that. And I see Lehigh. And I can down arrow you. And I can see this. Oh, I think I opened up. Wait. What did I just open up? Top right of collab, right click your friend. Okay. Right click. Request. leave, grant, revoke, show location. Top right click. That should be it. Show location. Oh, it just took me to where you're typing. Maybe if I click on your name. Right click. Nope, don't right click on you. Click once. Open active file. It just takes me to where you're at.
Ooh, I like this. Oh, still didn't catch that. Oh well.
Oh, hey, get back into the terminal again, and then I'm going to do show location on you again. Let me know when you get into it.
Am I supposed to be in the terminal?
Yeah, you get into terminal real fast. Just click the tab so it highlights it.
I clicked it. Your terminal's in collaborative mode. Yeah, that's great. Okay.
So then stay there for a second. And I'm going to go click your name. I go open active file. I think I'm seeing it. Command run. Weird. Command. Patchy. Whoa. Drag that down. Okay. How do I drag that down? Drag that down. I dragged it down. To the bottom panel. Okay. To my bottom panel. It's on my bottom panel now. I guess I'm seeing what you're seeing? Maybe. I don't see any of the commands. Is your terminal blank right now? So
Yeah, I don't have anything in there.
Oh, type something in there like, I don't know, npm
Wait.
start.
My terminal has a Apache. No, it's not. I can't tell. I don't know if it's because it's collaborative mode or what, but my terminal is really tiny now.
Like it's at the bottom of the page?
Well, I mean, no, it's always been the bottom of the page. That's where I have it. Oh man, your whole screen is black. Anyways, I think you did the full IDE mode.
Probably.
Yep, you did. All right. Anyway, irrelevant. My bad.
Okay, well that's fine. We can keep going. But that's a bummer. I want
Yeah.
to figure that out.
Let
We'll do it.
me Control C. No. I feel like I can't get to the bottom of the terminal. Caught sig term shutting down. That's
Makes it tiny.
great, but still doesn't help. Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll just keep going. I mean, we'll figure it out.
I'm gonna shut down terminal. Close.
Oh yeah.
Maybe open a new terminal.
Okay. Yeah, I see that you just opened one. So.
Can you follow me here? I want
Okay.
to see what happens.
Wait. Lehigh Damus is run config output. Huh.
npm start.
I want to see what you're doing. Maybe it is this one that I gotta open up. Let's see here. Right click on your name. Nope. Open active file. Weird. I don't know what it's doing, but it's having a hard time show me what you're doing.
Yeah, the terminal sharing or whatever is a little wonky.
That's okay. We'll figure it out. Let's keep going.
Oh, Hacksword did mention in collab mode it does make it tiny and weird, which is the problem I was having.
Okay.
All right, well, I can Control C. We don't need npm started right now. All right, so at least JavaScript wise, I've imported React DOM, and some React Router stuff.
Oh, do we have router already in here, or does
No, we need to install it still.
Does that come from? Oh,
It does not come from React. It comes from its own. I think it has its own thing. Let me check npm real quick.
What's the difference between? I see you got React and React DOM. What's the difference between those two?
They do different things.
That's good to know.
Let's see. I think React DOM is just for specifically interfacing with the DOM.
Okay. Is that JSX?
Yes.
Gonna give that a solid maybe.
So let's go to the place where all knowledge is gathered, Stack Overflow. And they say React and React DOM were only recently split into two different libraries. Prior to version 0.14, all React DOM functionality was part of React. This may be a source of confusion since all slightly documented data documentation won't mention the split. Let's see. As the name implies, React DOM is the glue between React and the DOM. Often you will only use it for one single thing, mounting with React DOM.render, which you can see I've already put on the page. Other useful feature of React DOM is React DOM.findDOM node, which you can use to gain direct access to a DOM element.
Okay.
So you can use sparingly in React apps, but it can be necessary.
Okay, gotcha. So it's sounds like the main thing that we're using it for is to bind it to the DOM. Like I
Yeah.
did this thing. Now go to the browser.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
This is interesting. The reason React and React DOM were split into two libraries was due to the arrival of React Native.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So, like, hey, we want to do stuff on mobile. Okay, let's take the DOM out of React.
And separate them. Cool. That's good to know.
That makes sense. All right, there's your lesson from Thank You Stack Overflow.
Thank you, source of all knowledge.
I don't know where else to go. All right, so did you do an install on any of these guys yet?
Nope, none of that. And you can see in package.json everything that I have installed. So yeah. Are you doing dash save on those?
I was going to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, just gonna make sure that is still kosher. React, I think, dash DOM and React router. Let's see if that works.
So for everyone who's watching, he's typing it, but yeah. Praise the all-knowing Stack Overflow. Yes, big peeps. Thank you, Stack Overflow. You don't need to know how to code. You just need to know where to look.
All right. I'm just going to paste in the chat the command I just ran since I'm not sharing my terminal.
Okay. Cool.
Just getting all three of those packages.
I'll put this onto the window so people can see what
And
I'm
it
typing.
is done.
You did it.
Okay, so now we have those. Window. There you are.
Window.
We might even want to. Let's just start with a
Yeah, let's start simple here.
component. Yeah, just get a normal component on the page. Just do an app.
App.render. Okay.
And then we can do a browser router.
Are we doing routing right off the bat, or do we want to just get something onto the page?
No. That's why I did app. Just app to start.
Okay.
And then we can worry about browser router or whatever. Although I guess, I don't know. Let's just create a BS. What do you want to output?
Let's do a hello world. Let's do that.
Of course.
Hello world.
All right, so we got app.
Pulling up my React router API over here onto my other monitor, so I can be looking at stuff as we're doing this.
Index.html. What are we going to link this to? Root.
Root.
Good name.
Root.
Rart.
Oh,
Gosh dang it.
Man,
all right.
Hello world and index.html. I'm going to delete that real fast. You don't have to worry about it. I got it.
Woohoo.
I got your back. All right, so React DOM render app. So you're specifying the element, and then you're saying
component.
Oh, the component. Okay, and so we haven't made the app component yet.
No.
Okay.
But this should be kosher.
Okay.
Right here.
Like under the hot dogs. Okay.
Correct. Hot dogs. Once we do create it, we will need to import it.
Okay.
But I mean, that's just a little doohickey like that.
Import app from app. Okay.
So now we'll save that real quick. Awesome. Source. There we go. New folder. We'll just do a quick little components,
Okay.
which now my import won't work. But that's okay. New file, app, JSX. Cool beans.
JSX has dynamite. All right.
Ah.
Are you typing in JSX right now?
No, I was in a different window.
Okay.
I am getting there. I was just okay.
Tutorial.
Boop.
It's a function.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, we need to import React.
Cool.
Okay. Cross your fingers. This should work.
Okay.
I make no promises.
All right.
Do we just run this from source index.html or what?
Yes. So what you'll do is we just make sure a command window is open. So I'm going to hit the bottom here, plus sign, new terminal, and then waiting for the terminal to turn on. And I'm in ls, make sure you're in the right spot, and we are. And then we're going to run a npm start. I'll run it from my side so you don't have to run this.
Yeah, I figured it'd probably be better from your side, so people can see it.
Yeah. And it ran through and it built it. So okay, so it should be good to go. And if we come over to our view, I should be able to refresh it now. And I get uncaught error. Can I find module React router DOM? So can you refresh your web view? Do you get that error too?
Refresh. Yes, I do. Awesome.
Oh, cool. So that was in our index.js. It doesn't know what React router DOM is.
Ow.
Did that get installed? React. We just said we have React router.
Yeah, I think that might.
Did you? Is it supposed to be called React router, not React router DOM?
I think the npm was React router DOM, but I think when you import it in the file, it's just supposed to be React router.
Okay. Yeah,
which, while we're talking about that, let me just do a update that as well.
I'll blow up. So go ahead and save, and that should.
Yep.
Rerun it again. All right. Child HTML Webpack for assets. Let's see here. I'm seeing error in source index.js. Module not found. Can't resolve ./component/app. Components. Oh, wait. Okay, I know we're in index.js, so ./ that's right. Then components/app.
Oh.
Did you export it from app.js? Dude, you got your cam up. I did. Thanks, Abracus.
No, I did not. Let me. Good catch. Oh.
Oh yeah. Module.export. Hello.
Actually, let's just rename this app just to keep it consistent.
What are you renaming?
The component inside app.js. You're good.
close tab. Big Peeps asks, what is the chat program on the right side of your screen? This is called Restream.io. Since I'm streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and a few other channels all at once, I have this chat program where it combines them all together. If you can see Abracus, he has the heart right there. He's coming from YouTube, and Big Peeps has the Twitch sign next to you, meaning you came from Twitch. So it lets me be able to see all of your guys' chats and reply to everyone at once. Kind of cool. All right, so you renamed it to Components and App JSX.
But also in the app JSX file, I exported it because I forgot to do that.
Oh, okay, cool. Did that work?
I don't know. Is our Webpack updated automatically with npm start going?
Yeah, it will. So it says module
No,
not found. Error. Wait, can you open this too? Man, see if you can see the terminal that I see.
I can see the console. Let me try opening the terminal. Collaborate.
You are beautiful, Abacus.
Stop it. Intor. Yikes.
I don't know if it doesn't let you. It sure is letting me do it now. I don't know. Maybe it's against their policies. I haven't heard.
Okay. I opened the terminal.
Okay. Can you see the error?
Can't resolve components app. Yep.
Okay. ./components/app and home source. var app. Oh, export default. Is that right? Let's see here. Export default. Say app. It should work. Not found. Can't find components. Components. Not that you actually. Big Peeps, I'm not sure. That'd be something good to Google. Or I'm going to get a nastygram at some point.
What's up?
Big Peeps is telling me that it might be against Twitch to stream to multiple sources at once. I haven't seen that yet. But
seems like something they shouldn't control, but
it could be.
Who knows?
I'm not partnered with them. I'm an affiliate, but not partnered. So maybe the rules are different. All right, so let's see here. Still can't find it. If I refresh this, it's going to tell me the same thing. Can't find module ./component/app. Webpack missing module. No, it's not missing a module. Okay, import React object module. React create class. Okay, so I'm just going to change some things up here real quick because I'm looking at a guide. And I'm just going to see if it messes with anything. Export default. Export default. React create class. Blah, 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 blah. And then I'm going to comment this out. Hit save. And it should still give me the same grief. Doesn't give me any grief. Index, so it says import app from ./components, which it goes, I don't know what that is. I go, me neither. Copy file path. Actually, in fact, give me this. Copy file path. Plop. Okay. So we're going to see if you can't spell or if this thing's just crazy.
Well, I have no doubt that I can't spell, but I do think it's crazy.
Those are lining up pretty dang close.
If you mean perfect, then yeah, pretty dang close.
If that means perfect. Okay. And it highlighted it. Oh, say that I did that. Hit save. And it goes, error in source index.js. Module not found. Cannot resolve ./component in home Ubuntu workspace/source. All right. I'm going to restart this thing real quick. All right. npm start. Webpack. All right. Looks like I built it just fine. Maybe. I'm going to try something here. Enter, enter, save. Still can't find it. Okay, he said ./ And we're in index.js. Index.js. / from you. Components. Wait. No, that should be right. Are you using a green screen? I am. I have a green wrapping paper behind me. Import app from what? Yeah, here. I can right click and jump to definition. Could not open file source components app.js. It says that it's not on the file system. What? Hey, just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to move your app.jsx up to the source folder. So it's right next to it. And then I'm just going to try to require it in that way. Try harder.
Okay. I need to do something very quickly. I will be right back.
All right.
2 minutes. Yep.
Why can't that find it? Import app from /app. What? So is the API currently private for... Take the dot out. Still can't find it. What in the world? Is the API currently private? The API for Evently? Is that what you're asking for, Big Peeps? Seriously though, why can't I find this? /modules. So if I do that, it's gonna go, I'm gonna try looking in there. Nope, don't look in there. The API is, well, it's only on my local host, but it is in my GitHub repo, and that's public, and you guys are welcome to it. Try .. Let's try that real fast. This is being a little goofy sauce. He goes, nope, can't find that. I wonder if it doesn't like the JSX for some crazy reason. Let's rename it to just JS. Maybe, yeah, there's a good chance that the system, Webpack, doesn't know how to find it. Can't resolve .. Oh, yeah, let's take that out. There we go. So it built it now. So it didn't like JSX. Did you need the extension? No, it doesn't look like I need that extension. It was just that .jsx wasn't liking that. So I probably can move this back into here. Yep. Go back into there. Cool. It's going to flip out. So we do /components.
Did you fix it yet?
I did.
Okay. Why did it break?
It didn't like the extension .jsx.
Ah, interesting.
So I just swapped it back to .js, which is fine.
All right. Huh? That works.
Yay. So yeah, Big Peeps, if you are interested in the repo for Evently, that is on GitHub /Toothpick Factory. And if you want that one specifically, here you go. And also the Discord bot that I built is available there as well. I just took out my keys for the bot and for my server. But you can just put in your own by generating those keys. But yeah, I will be putting that server up onto my server that's running in DigitalOcean, and then it'll be available. And people can request keys so they can build against it as well. But that's for a later time. Right now, we want to get this working. But there you go, Lehigh. It's up and running.
All right. Hello, world. Ta-da.
Refresh.
All right. Thanks for coming, everybody.
We did it. We built one React thing.
Built one React component. And it only took us 48 minutes.
Good job, team.
All right. So,
okay. So
what do you want to do next?
Well, we got a component. I mean, it's a really basic one. How do we get another component inside of this one?
What do you mean inside of it?
So I see. So I
Like call a component from that one?
yeah, like how do we insert a component in this app one? In fact, I'm gonna switch it back because I like it how you had it before as a export default app. Let me do that real quick.
Dang right you did.
Because I come
All
into
right.
here and I don't know that this one's app. I'm like, what is this thing? But it's cool if you set it to a variable. And save. And does that still work? Sweet, it does. So we've built 2 components right now, didn't we? We built one in index.js, which is
We built one and then we rendered it.
okay.
I mean, app is the only component that we've really built so far. I
Okay.
don't think that the index.js would be considered a component
Okay.
because all we're doing from there is telling it to render the component that we actually did.
All right. Well, then let's build. Let's build a second component.
All right. Do you want to create that component?
Yeah, I want to give it a go. As I'm about to build that, Big Beeps asks, "What's the Albion Online DB?" So there's a game called Albion Online, and I had gone in. I downloaded the game, and I used a scraper, and I scraped all the data files out of it. And so I had like the weapon stats, all the inventory, everything that could be dropped in the game. And I took it, I converted it, and put it into a database. And then I built an interface on top of it, and I put it up online. For the website is Albion Online DB. I think. Whoops. I think that's what it is. Albion Online DB.com. There we go. So it's here, and you can go to the items, and you can search for all the different items, tiers, and hit search. And if it's running, that should come back with something. But it might not be running. Oh, there is no tier 1. That's why. Search. There we go. And you can pull up all this information. So that's the backend that I did for that, the server side. Okay, back to on the topic. Yes, I would love to build a component. What should we call this one? Let's call it Austin's component.
Why don't you? Let's throw this into some parentheses. So I'm going to take out hello world from the component we just did.
Okay.
And so we'll need something to go inside of this div.
Okay. Cool. All right. We'll call it riots actually because I like that. So new file. New file, and then we'll call this riot.js.
And our next presentation is going to be on naming variables.
All right, cool. So we got riot.js. We open this up. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cheat. Actually, I'm not going to cheat. I'll just reference it. So I do an import React from React lowercase. And then I'm going to do var riot equals React to create class. So React.create class. And that takes an object. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Takes a React and it has a property of render. That's one of the things. Okay, cool. So render. And why does that feel wrong? Because it is wrong. Colon function. Function. Okay, cool. And that returns JSX, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so return parentheses. And then I can do whatever the goobly glops I want inside of here.
Yep. This is where your HTML lives, but is actually JSX.
Okay. Mine is going to be a div. And I'm going to say...
One important thing to remember, though, is that whatever you return has to be enclosed in one tag. So you can't have, like, two divs. You can't put a div underneath that one, if that makes sense. Like there has to be one outside enclosing tag.
There can't
So
be
like
no siblings.
this, yeah.
So, I
So
can't
this
do
works fine because div is outside. But if you're doing like another div or a span or anything else underneath it, no bueno.
div. Div. So can't do this. Like I can't do that.
Correct. That would be bad.
That would be bad. Okay, so we won't do
And then
that.
we spend another 45 minutes trying to figure out why it's not working.
All right, so I got this. I got to export it. So export default, since we're only exporting one thing. Riot. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, cool. So I'm going to hit save and come into app.js. Oh, look, import Riot. Okay.
Gonna import Riot from Riot, yeah.
I'm going to put a dot slash so it doesn't think it's trying to get it from node modules.
Correct. And then just down here inside our div, we're just gonna reference Riot.
If we hit save on it. You didn't close
Yep.
the H1 tag. Oops. Oh, yep, it's blowing up. Whoops.
Way to go, Riot.
Oh, thank you, Abacus. He's the one that found it. I did a closing div tag for some reason and not a closing H1 tag. For some
You were
reason.
just, ironically, after you compliment yourself.
That's right. You are awesome. And you used the wrong closing tag. Yay!
Awesomely done. Crap.
There you go. Hey, so Lehigh, you need to refresh the page.
Don't talk to me. Oh gosh. Wow. Glad you made it big enough.
I did. I did. It can't
I'm
get
almost
bigger.
surprised you didn't, change the CSS and font size it up to 1,000.
That's what she said. All right. Cool.
All right. Yep, there you go. I mean, so you kind of did your React thing with the notes earlier, yesterday, last night.
Yeah.
So in theory, so we have our app here, which is going to display everything to the page, app.js, and then Riot.js would be like one sticky note. And then you can just keep calling that sticky note over and over. If you want to make a change to how the sticky note looks or whatever, you just have to change the one React component and you're done. And then you can call it as many times as you want, keep reusing it. Yeah.
Until it's beautiful. Huh.
Yep.
That's cool. How do I add like functionality to these guys?
What do you mean by functionality?
Like, let's say I wanted to put a button in my Riot class, and when I click the button, I want it to pop up and say Riot is freaking awesome.
That is impossible.
It is.
Yes. All right. Fine. It's possible.
Okay. Show me.
Let's see. Well, one thing, I mean, render obviously isn't the only function you can call from React.create class. You can create other functions or methods that would go above it.
Okay.
One example, I'm trying to think what they're called. I should know this, but so like one example is component did mount.
Okay.
Let me Google that real quick.
Big Beepus is asking if says, can you give a brief explanation of Reactus? Do you want to take that one?
Yeah. So React is a library, not a framework. They always seem to want to make that distinction. Created by Facebook. Let's see. Sorry, just doing that real quick. Basically, they're just noticing that they wasted a lot of time editing things because they'd have to make changes all over the place, right? So they created React, which is, I mean, you just kind of have to get your mind behind components. It's all about the components. Kind of what we were just talking about there. You just make change to one component, changes it everywhere. Um, Another thing that React heavily relies on is this JSX. What does the X stand for, actually? Do you know, Austin?
I don't actually. So you're
JavaScript extension syntax.
Okay.
So I guess extension. But what JSX is, I mean, in simplest terms, it's HTML. Don't think about it like that, but I mean, when you look at JSX, you're going to think, hey, this is HTML, right? You can see, so all the stuff that we have in these return statements, this is JSX. And I know it looks like HTML, but it, JSX, which I guess Babel would turn into HTML later. Trying to think of how to explain React besides just components.
Well, Big Beepus just asked, why wouldn't you just use PHP for stuff like this? What do you think?
I haven't used PHP in ages. It's been a while. A big part is just the love of JavaScript that's come out recently. A lot of people like sticking with that. I know a lot of things. React is client side, I believe. Okay, just want to double check before I spread out.
It's all good.
So it's all client side. I don't know, Austin, why would you use this over PHP?
So one of the big reasons why these libraries are popping up, they're so popular, instead of using like PHP or Java or Ruby to render out client-side pages, it's this new push for SPAs. They're called single-page applications. And real quick, Junicus, is this like a tutorial? It's a tutorial / we're learning together. We're both kind of inexperienced, but we are learning together, so it's kind of fun. If you have React experience, please jump in and help us out. Okay, so SPAs, single-page applications. So what's really cool about them is, first off, it helps decouple the client from the server. And the reason why you want that decoupling is it makes it so all the work is taking off the server. Something that's really neat to think about is, okay, if you have one server that's running PHP and its job is to render these pages. So it's a user page. It needs to put the user's image at the top. It needs to render out all the posts and messages on there, get it all from the database, and compose a page and send it off. It's a good amount of work for the server. Not a ton, but if you're getting tons of traffic, like thousands of users hitting it every minute, that puts a lot of work onto the server. So why the movement has switched to SPAs is because it makes the server really, really, really lightweight. So the server, all it does is it sends off the index page, or it could be a completely separate server, sends off this bundle of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript that's not rendered at all. It just knows how to interact with JSON that it's receiving. And then the server is, all it's responsible for now is handling AJAX requests to it. So it says, give me users, and it passes an ID, goes to the database, gets user data in JSON form, sends it back to the client receives it, and then it leverages the user's computer to do the heavy lifting to build out the HTML pages. And so that relieves tons of work off the server and makes it really lean. And what's really cool is once you get the page loaded onto your computer, the raw data, the bundle, your pages load extremely fast because it's just making these network requests, getting minimal amounts of data instead of these giant HTML pages. It also opens it up for, it makes your servers not care anymore. It doesn't have to deal with websites only. It could also do iPhone apps and Android and Windows. It could also do robotics. It can do Discord bots like I built with it. It can do all these different things because it doesn't care that it's doing websites anymore. It's just passing JSON back and forth. I know that's a long explanation, but that's why people are moving towards SPAs so much.
Another important thing with React too is that React is just user interface. I mean, people talk about the MVC, model view control, but this is like V. It's really just for user interface, and they do have some great stuff to interact with the data, like Redux. But React itself is just for creating user interfaces, and that's why it's often referred. It's just a library, not necessarily a whole framework. But just wanted to add that.
That's cool. Yeah, it's super good at handling the view.
I guess the other important thing would be to go into the virtual DOM on why React is awesome. So React is super fast on making changes because, and I'll try and explain this as best as I can, even though it'll be very low level. But basically you have the DOM, right? Which, looking at the page there on the right is freaking awesome. That's your DOM. But then there's also this thing called the virtual DOM, and that's where React is actually making all of its changes. And then when it compares the virtual DOM to the actual DOM and only changes the things that are required. So when it makes an update, going back to the single page application that Austin was talking about, it's only going to update the things that are actually required to change, helping to make it faster.
Sweet. Yeah, that's what's React's really powerful. It's super popular right now, and there's a lot of libraries that are copying what React's doing. But it's definitely something, if you're getting into web development, you'll hear a lot about React and Angular and Vue. Terrific Taylor asks, what do you have experience with? My personal experience, I come from an Angular background, so I do a lot of Angular, Node, MySQL, Mongo. I do iOS and Android apps, and I do hybrid apps. I'm learning React right now. I do a lot of different things. Lehigh, what's your background?
My background's kind of been all over the place. I mean, I started just simple web, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, just common JS, vanilla JS. The past year, I've done a lot of Java and getting into Wicket just because that's what the employer wants or requires. And then just now learning React and Redux.
Sweet. Let's see here. A Big Beep says, all right, I didn't realize it was client-side. Yep, that's React's client-side. It can do it on the DOM, or in the server. We won't get into that, though. PDE 1996 says, have you heard of GraphQL? I have. In fact, it's been really popular lately. I'm not very experienced with it. I think I'd love to do one of these streams where we dive into GraphQL and we try to build something with it. But from what I understand, it makes it so your query to the server, instead of saying like, give me /user /ID /their name or something like that, you could do /user, or you compose a object. You're saying, hey, I want you to give me the user with this ID, and I want you to give me their posts, and I want to give me all the likes they have, something like that. And you send it up to GraphQL, and it returns back all of the that information. Terrific Taylor, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it, man. By the way, for people who are viewing, anyone who subscribes, something that we like to do for our new subscribers is they can request a topic that they would like to learn, whether that's React, Angular, Redux, NGRX, Mongo, MySQL, whatever. Anything in the web realm, even apps, iOS, Android. We dedicate a whole whole lesson on that if you subscribe. So something for you guys to think about. Hacksaw asks, React versus Angular, though. Oh, that's a good one.
We don't have enough time for that.
I'll give you my high-level answer whenever I'm in an interview and they ask me that question. I say so Angular, Angular is a framework. So it gives you the view, it gives you state management, it gives you ways to communicate with the server, it gives you your two-way binding, it gives you all these things. It gives you the whole box. If you're doing Angular, you're doing Angular. The app is Angular. React is just the view. It's really small. It just does one piece. If you want to do Ajax requests, you pull in something like fetch, which is native. Lehigh, what do you use? You got anything?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
That's okay. You like pull in fetch, you pull in Axios or Axios, something like that.
Axios has been the one that I've seen the most so far.
Okay, cool. For state management, you pull in a Redux. And for doing routing, you pull in React Router, which is a complete separate library. So anyways, so that's the separate difference between them. Angular, you get the full shebang. React, you only get one piece.
Yeah, kind of like I was saying before, React is just for the view, and that's what it specializes in. That's what it does. Like you said, if you want to kind of work with the state, you need to pull in Redux. Well, I guess you don't need to, but to make it easier, you do.
Yeah. So what I tell companies, as I say, if you want to have control on a team where everyone's doing everything the same, you don't argue about anything. It's just, this is the way we do it. I push Angular very heavily because it is prescribed. You can do HTTP request, you use angular.http. That's just how you do it, and it has a prescribed way of doing things. But for like personal projects where you want to have more flexibility to do whatever you want, React. I like React a lot for that. Well, I say that, but I still haven't delved too deep into it. I'm still learning it. Do you have any personal preferences, Lehigh?
I haven't used Angular in years, and I'm just learning React. So as of the moment, not really. I guess it really just comes down to what do you want to do. You know, if you need all the things that Angular is offering, then that'd be a great framework to work with. If you want to do some cool stuff with the Vue, then you should look into React.
Cool. I like it. Real quick, Haxor, I saw that you followed, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Junicus asks, as I understand the VDOM, it only changes stuff in the VDOM, so virtual DOM, that needs to change. But the actual DOM gets re-rendered every time, but it turns out to be faster because it gets optimized by the browser. That's a great question. Lehigh, you're the one actually who brought up virtual DOM. Do you want to answer that? Or acknowledge that?
I'll have to look into that. I thought it was the other way around. I know it's definitely making the changes on the virtual DOM. There's no question about that. But I believe it was just making the changes on the DOM because it compares the virtual DOM to the actual DOM. And then I believe it just makes the changes that are the difference, right? But I would have to double check on that, which I can do while you answer the next question.
Okay, cool. Let's real quick here. Realm of the Geek, welcome. It's always good to have you here. Let me grab the popcorn. Please bring some. Terrific Taylor
Enough to
asks,
share.
yes, please share. Terrific Taylor asks, which version of Angular do you work with? I work with Angular 4. I've been doing AngularJS. I've been with it since Angular 1.2, so for a while. Most of the places that I work or people I consult with, they're still on Angular 1.5.1.6. So I helped them convert over to Angular 2/4. So Angular 4, we skipped 2. Angular 5 will be here shortly. So yeah, that's what I work with. Realm of the Geek says, and who else is here? This is Sharkfighter / Maverick / Lehigh. I will refer to him as all three throughout this.
That's what happens when you don't keep your username consistent.
That's correct. Terrific Taylor asks, if we sub, can we make a request for a project? Sure. Why not? Yeah, I don't mind. As long as it's something that needs to fit into like an hour and a half, unless it's like a super awesome project. Like, yeah, let's spend a few projects on it. Then for sure.
Okay.
Oh, no,
what?
no, we're not doing that.
Well, you dug your grave, Austin. Now you have to pull through.
Well,
Right.
I think we could fit that into one episode. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh gosh,
No,
I'm gonna take a break that night, play some Warframe or something. You just let me know ahead of time.
Okay,
Anywho,
will do.
going back to the virtual DOM, All right. So as per Code Academy, when you render a JSX element, every single virtual DOM object gets updated. So the entire virtual DOM gets updated every time you render or re-render an element or component. It says this sounds incredibly inefficient, but the cost is insignificant because the virtual DOM can update so quickly. That's what's making React so fast, is that it updates the entire virtual DOM. But once the virtual DOM is updated, React compares it to the actual DOM. And well, it takes a snapshot of it, compares that. They call this process diffing. I don't know why they call it diffing. Once React knows which virtual DOM objects have changed, then React updates those objects and only those objects on the real DOM.
Okay.
So that's what makes it so fast. It updates the virtual DOM, the entire virtual DOM every time. But it's insignificant. Virtual DOM can be super fast. And then it only updates on the actual DOM those things that have changed.
Sweet.
So Austin, you were saying before, like we can do an example where you press a button and then it pops up Riot is freaking awesome. It wouldn't re-render the whole page. It would only re-render the Riot component there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
big beepus. And I guess I know where diffing is coming from. It just sounds dumb.
Differencing. I don't know if saying differencing sounds better.
Yeah, I guess. Fine. They win.
Terrific Taylor says if we did his project, it would look good in our GitHub portfolio.
Oh, yeah. You get a lot of people checking it out.
I'm sure that'd be a talking point when you go into the interview. Like, hey, let's take a look at your work. Wow, this is interesting.
Yeah, that's a great talking point in interviews.
Yeah.
So we checked out your GitHub portfolio, and we really like some of your work.
especially this one.
Then you know the places you don't want to work at.
Yeah. Yeah.
You perverts.
Hey, all right. Well, back on topic where we're at. Guys, please feel free to keep asking questions. This is what we love doing the streams, so we can interact and answer questions and see what we can do. But let's make this button work. I saw in a tutorial, Lehigh, where in order to make just like a button work, I put a function in like this, the awesome alert.
Mm-hmm.
I just say alert, like Bob the Builder. And then can we just do like a button? So I saw this and I'm like, oh, wow, that's really cool because I'm just using vanilla JavaScript. Click Bob.
That's what a lot of it is just vanilla JS, JS6.
Okay, so, oh, but I don't do it in quotes, right? Or do I? I don't think I do it in quotes. I think I just do on click and then just do.
Yeah, I think you just call your function there.
Awesome alert. Like that. Save. And then looks like, did we render? It seems to be mad about something.
Ooh, I got a big unexpected token, comma, expected, comma?
Comma?
Or unexpected token, expected, comma. So it looks like you're missing.
What am I missing? Oh, a comma right
here. Right before render, yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, then it's mad about line 12. JX value should be either an expression or a quoted JS text. So is this supposed to be in quotes?
Let's see. That's what I want.
Let's see.
Oh, try putting it in curly braces.
Okay.
Any JavaScript needs to be in curly braces.
Okay, so there's
inside of the JSX.
Just singular curly braces?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's save that. Run it. Terrific Taylor just got yelled at by Nightbot. Oh no.
Dang it. I hate Nightbot. He's a butthole. Terrific Taylor, I'm sorry. Nightbot is a real douche.
He's douchey. Sorry.
Dumb idiot.
Okay, let's see here. That still didn't work. He goes, awesome alert is not defined. Oh, is it? It's this, right? This dot awesome alert.
Not this again.
Yeah. Hey, look, we got that there. I'm gonna click it. Hey, Bob the Builder. Cool. Well, let's answer some questions. Looks like we've had a lot of chat happening.
It's mostly because Nightbot sucks.
It is a conversation piece.
Junicus was just correctly saying you need to use this.
Okay. Do you all know anything about with ASP.NET MVC? I know nothing about the MVC. I know C Sharp just because I was doing some Unity programming, so making some games with it. But that's about it.
I do not.
I like
I'm
how
pretty sure he made it up.
I like how Nightbot thought ASP.NET was a link.
I didn't post the link though. Yeah, Nightbot will jump on you pretty quick.
Nightbot, you dumb idiot.
He yells at me a lot.
Do you need to use this? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we got this going on. Perfect.
He's
Hey.
mean, but it's a good thing he doesn't have a potty mouth. It'd get real ugly.
It's a little douchey. Okay. Cool. So awesome. So we got that working. We got some functionality going in here. Something that I hear a lot going on is props.
Oh, let's pass in some props.
Yeah. Do you want to do that? Like
Props. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So one very important thing about React is that information flows downward. So meaning that if you want information in your component or in several different components, it needs to be in the highest level component and then work down to those components. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So so we would start in like app. And
so in
pass it down to Riot.
app.js, yeah. So let's just say name is equal to, we'll do Bob to keep this less confusing. So Bob. So now we're passing in props.
Okay.
Which I'm sure you can.
Just like, so props is properties, and so attributes are properties of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so those are the properties you're passing to that component. They call it props.
Cool.
So we'll save that. Then in Riot.js, now we can take that props, take that information, and use it. Let's see if we can replace Bob with. Oh, I wonder if it'll let us do this. I don't know. I'm gonna try.
You can do some ES6 magic.
I'm gonna attempt it.
Okay.
This dot props dot name.
So is this dot props? Is that just something that comes with the create class, Riot class? It's just built into this object.
I'm not sure where it comes from. Okay. I just know it's the object that holds all your props.
Okay.
I haven't asked that question.
Cool. I think I'm guessing it is just like how render is something that just comes with create class. It's something that we didn't create. It's just built into it.
And Bob the Builder. All right, I'm getting the same thing. Are you getting the same thing?
Let's see here. Did you
Actually, I need to go change the name just to double check that.
Yeah, do a new one.
Riot. All right, now let's refresh.
Oh, look at that. Okay, cool.
Okay. There it goes. Okay, I still got Bob the Builder first time I clicked it. I think I clicked it before it finished reloading. Anywho, so yeah, so there's your passing in props. Okay. Whatever your component needs, you can pass it that way. That's awesome. And you just have to remember, information flows down. So, say we wouldn't pass props from Riot to app.js.
Okay, so you can never go back upstream. Is that correct?
I don't know about you can't. I believe you're not supposed to.
Okay.
It might be possible that you can't. I think there's a way. By the time you're doing that, you really want to be working with state and not with props.
Okay. Well, I guess that rolls into the next thing. State. What is state?
We don't talk about state.
Rule number 1 about React. We don't talk about state. Okay.
State is the other big important thing with React. Props being one of them. Well, informational wise. And then state being the other. And then there's multiple levels of state. as well. There's component state and then there's application state.
What's the difference between the two?
One is at a component level and the other is at the application level.
Okay.
You're just really asking some easy questions tonight. I appreciate it.
Oh, throw some low balls out there for you. No, it's all good.
So state is just an object that determines how the component renders and behaves.
Okay.
State is what allows you to create components that are dynamic and interactive, right? Because this is handling the information behind your web page or your component. Oh.
Gotcha.
Let's see. So state.
Is there?
Trying to think. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just thinking because you got global state, which I can kind of get because I've done some Redux where that's the whole point is you keep the state of the entire app in this global variable.
Right.
And then you do have component state, which is, I guess, local state. And this is an honest question. I don't know. When do you use local state? Like, when should you use it? Like, I don't know. Do you keep track of a toggle button in local state, or does that need to be propagated up to the app state?
Man, trying to think. It's been a while since I've done like this higher level stuff. But from what I understand, so I mean, just props first state. Props is the information that you're passing in, and for a component level state is just that component's state information object within its life cycle. Right? So you're not passing state anywhere.
Okay.
State within a component. If a component's making changes to itself, it's going to make it to its state, right? And then to pass information, you're passing it through props. Kind of going back to what I was talking about with the information traveling downwards, that's when you're going to, use more the application level state. That's where it would come in. So, and that's how you'd get that information back up the waterfall there.
Okay.
I know, like you're saying, with Redux, you don't use the component level as much. Because you have Redux managing that application level.
Okay. Manage the entire app. How do you add a local state into these components? I'm actually kind of curious about that. Does anyone in chat, if anyone has done React before, feel free to chime in here. We're going to do some quick searching here on how to do local state. Local state in React. State and lifecycle. Tell me more, tell me more. All right, let's see here. Get that, try, CodePen, div. Google knows. Google knows everything and probably too much. Covering a function to class, blah. Adding local state to a class. Okay. This state dot
Oh gosh.
Where did that get it from?
So I want to say you're going to add a constructor to it.
Okay.
But I need to find an example of what I'm talking about to make sure I'm not crazy.
Guess you do.
Here we go.
So it's the constructor, and it takes.
Let me throw this bad boy in there.
Okay. You're doing it on. Oh, you're doing
Right.
it there. Okay.
Yeah. So here you're setting your component state.
There you go.
Oh, sorry. This is from a previous project. So projects and to-dos are not going to make sense. We could set name here, right?
So what is this props? I get props is the properties being passed in, and you do
Right.
super props, which what's that doing? constructor props, super props. Class component should always call the base constructor with props. Oh, is that just a binding props to? Since we're using constructor now, this is what I'm guessing. If we don't have a constructor, it automatically binds props to this. But if we have a constructor, we have to manually bind it to this with using super. So that begs the question, because I see in this example here, in the constructor, it's taking props in right here, and then it's immediately going props and passing into super. And I've seen that before. And I just want to try something just real fast, for fun. I'm going to do this, save, and then it blew up. Why did it not like me? Let me hit enter a few times and try that again.
Super outside.
Super's outside. What? Let's see here. Constructor props. No, that looks right.
It says a super method is a special method that means call this same method on whichever class I inherited from.
We forgot a comma again.
Those dang comma.
Oh wait, it's still mad at us though.
That's what I was saying. The super outside of class constructor. That's not true.
React create class. Yes.
Well, here's our constructor.
Oh, well, we're doing. Oh, interesting. We haven't been doing classes because it's supposed to be class something extends React component. Oh, that's right. If we're using constructors, yeah.
There's two different ways to create components.
And
that is a good point.
So what we're doing is we're creating smart components now since we're doing this.
So yeah. So I mean that's what you're going to want to do. So
class Riot extends. Actually, you should look samples with ES6 since you are doing that. Since you can do functions, get initial state function. Since you do a function, get initial state function, and it returns the starting state. Get initial state. Oh.
Since we're doing it this way as well, we're going to want to import component from React. So I just added that at the top.
Okay, and we need to add.
Or, I mean, they did React.component. We don't need to do that now.
Oh, we don't?
Because I imported it line 1.
Wait, what did you do? You did import React, comma. Component.
And we just want that specifically from React as well.
Okay.
So it just makes it shorter down below. So now we just extend component. We don't have to extend React.component.
Okay, gotcha.
So 2 ways of doing that.
Cool.
You can do React.component, then you don't need this. Or you add this and do React.component.
Cool. Real quick, Junicus says, and we can do, so you can do a function get initial state, and that returns the starting state. So I don't know what that is. Get initial state. Have you used that before?
I don't know how on that form. I have used it before.
Okay. And PDE 1996 says, how do you come up with your programming project ideas? Really? It's generally I start off with something that seems cool to me. And so, for example, I wanted to build this event system for Discord since it needed one, since it doesn't have one. And then from there, I wanted to learn React, and so I needed a web view version. So I decided to build this. Generally, it's just something that I see useful. It's usually based around gaming somehow, because building apps for up-and-coming games is usually a great way to put apps out there that actually gain traction pretty quickly. But yeah, that's what I do. Junicus says, it looks like you are mixing both syntaxes, ES6 and older, and they look different. The React site has a section on React without ES6. Okay, is it because we're doing this? I wonder, I think we can get away doing this since we're doing ES6.
Oh, yeah. Let me double check something real quick.
I think that's what Junicus is referring to.
Yeah, I believe you're correct. And that's a good point. Just when you're switching from one to the other, a couple things you have to change.
It's not happy about parsing error, unexpected token, comma. Oh, I guess we don't do commas anymore since we're in ES6 mode. Brooklyn Dev says you also don't need commas after each run. Cool. Cool. We're on the same brain link there, Brooklyn. Junica says, yep, but in this case, you would need to bind the handler too. We need to bind the handler. As in bind this dot awesome alert? Is that what you were talking about? I don't know. So we're at least error free now. Can we still run this?
It's a good place to start.
Error free? That's a good place to start. Say, oh, we have an error down here. Unexpected token. Oh, yep, we don't need that anymore at the bottom. It might be compiling. It's not letting me type anymore. I'm going to kill my... I'm going to restart Webpack real fast.
Going back to the get initial state question. Get initial state is what you would use if we had kept react.createClass. And if you do it this way, where you create the class, then you use constructor and super.
Okay. Cool. Okay, looks like it built. I can refresh. Uh-oh. Yeah, click Bob blows up now. Cannot read property props of null. So I think this is Junicus is referring to. But in this case, you would need to bind the handler too. Cannot read property props of null. This.props.name cannot read property props of null. So it says this is null. What did we do? We broke something.
Woohoo!
We did it. So just for fun, I'm going to just log this out. Console.log YOLO. Alright, and then we're going to refresh this, and then I just want to see. Okay, so the button still works. It's just we blew up that. And we're getting some information here. Junica says, so in your constructor, after you set state, do this dot underscore awesome alert equals this dot awesome alert dot bind this. Oh. Brooklyn Dev says React is the one that's calling your awesome alert function. When they do this is no longer the component. Never mind, you need it because in the handler you are using this. What are you doing? Melina ZZ asks. We are currently learning how to do React, and we're trying to get it so we can get this passed into awesome alert. And it sounds like we need to bind this to it. So they're saying that, so in your constructor, after you set state, do this dot underscore awesome alert equals this dot underscore awesome alert dot bind this. Is that what you're talking about? Never mind, you need it because the handler are using this. Alright, let's see what that does. And refresh. Still around there, Lehigh?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, whoops, we gotta uncomment this. That's not doing anything.
Alright.
Hey, there we go. Okay, cool. Do we have to do this dot underscore awesome alert equals that, or can we just get away by doing this? There's only 5 ways to find out. Oh, yep, blows up. We have to do it the other way. Interesting. That feels a little clunky, I guess. AOML. Nope. Yep. We found out the hard way. Interesting. Brooklyn Dev says, alternatively, you can create your awesome alert function like this. If you do it this way, you won't need to bind. Gonna be type error. Yeah, blew up. And you're very passionate about it with that caps. Oh, interesting. So if I do underscore awesome alert like this, and then we do equals, and we're going to do the fat arrow on it, so it keeps the lexical scope of the class, we can get away with not doing this line at all, I'm assuming.
You can also do it. I think you can try it down here.
Don't change it yet. I'm building.
Ah.
Wait. Except it did not like what I just did. Underscore awesome alert equals this, and goes, it didn't like the equal sign. Like this. Underscore awesome alert equals, open, that, arrow function, that.
Interesting. If you use React.create class, React auto binds all functions to this.
Oh.
So that's why we didn't have to do this before.
Interesting. Okay, well now we gotta figure out why. Yeah, that's the syntax of the arrow there. Oh, it's a newer feature in JS. Guess your Babel doesn't support it. We should support it. What version of Babel are we using? Package.json. We are using 7.1. That feels like it's the latest one. I think we just may have messed it up. It just says equals that. What if we did this? I don't, this might be, yeah, it has no idea what I'm talking about. So we do that, fat arrow, and then we go like that, alert. Is that an extra in your font alert? Jarmus 125, I'm looking. We got one here, and we got one here. I think we're good on that.
So let's see. Here's a good website. I'll post it in the chat. Shut up, Nightbot. Talks about 5 ways or 5 approaches for handling this and binding it to your functions. So one is the way you're doing it. That's number 5. First one is what I was talking about. Just use React.create class because it magically does it for you.
Okay.
The one that I was going to do is just on line 19. You can bind it inside the render. Just do a .bind this on the function call.
Okay. Well, check this out.
No.
Oh, sorry. The on change equals, and then it does it like that, but it does it as an object.
All right, go to number 5.
Number 5. Handle change equals that. This technique relies upon the props class property feature. To use this approach, you must enable transform class properties or enable stage 2 in Babel. Oh crap.
Ooh, stage 2. sounds intense.
Yeah. In Babel. Okay, so we need to figure out how to do that. Let's do your way real quick and see if that works.
Okie dokie.
In the meantime, I just want to look at this. This technique really applies, and then enable stage 2 in Babel. I shall click it, and hopefully it tells me how to do so. Babel preset stage 2.
Bind this.
Preset stage 2. What are our presets?
Save. No errors. Refresh.
Yes, 2015.
Woohoo! It works.
You did the things?
Okay, it's official. My way's better.
How did you do it? What did you do? Oh, you bound it down there.
Just done it. Done it. Yep. I did it in the render.
Now you've gone and done it. Okay, cool. So that's another way. All right. Well, I'm curious about the stage 2 because I like that. I like that approach of the fat arrow. 'Cause that seems pretty.
You just like fat arrows.
It feels clean.
Alternatively, you could use Create React app, and it will set up Webpack with Babel and all nice features for you. It does have some small limitations, but not that big of an issue.
That's
Per Junicus.
I did start off with that, and the reason why I stripped it out and just went to minimum with me implementing everything by hand was for two reasons. First one was because this Cloud9 was freaking out whenever I was using the dev server. It was trying to listen on a port, not listen on a port. It was trying to run off an IP address and a port that it wasn't supporting Cloud9, and there wasn't any good documentation to figure out how or why it wasn't working. So I'm like, forget it. I'll just use what they offer. And the second reason was I wanted to learn from scratch of like, how does React work? I don't want anyone to configure things for me. I want to do it from the ground up so I understand the core. But we are now seeing some things that are great about Create React app, which is fine.
But hey,
We're
we're
learning
learning.
why.
We're learning.
We learned
Now we know 5 different ways to bind this.
and we know there's such thing as stage 2.
And we also know that you only need to bind it if you're doing a class.
That's
And
right.
if you use React.create class, it magically does it for you.
Yay.
So, woohoo.
So I'm a bit concerned here because we could go about trying to install this Babel preset stage 2. Should we try it and just see what happens?
Sure, let's do it.
All
Let's
right.
do that and try and get your fat arrow working.
Cool. All right, so I copied it. I'm going to kill our server here. And then
I'm going to remove the bind from the render function.
Babel preset stage 2.
Dun, dun, dun.
I do just feel like cooler, like, all right, you've beat level 1 or stage 1. You're on stage 2. I'm like, oh, stage 1 was a real pain in the butt. Saying stuff about unsupported, but it's just a warning. We're okay. Okay, so we've done that, and then our package.json. We now have preset stage 2.
Stage 2, yeah.
We've gone from cool to fantastic. Tyler's calling me, by the way. I wonder if he's off work. I need to answer that in a minute.
You know he'll just keep calling.
All right, so presets I say stage 2 instead of saying ES 2015. Let's see what that does. Presets. We're now stage 2 with lots of quotes. Stage 2. Save. All right. Here we go. npm start. Well, it didn't not work. So that's all right. So, okay. So you said it is running as is with your cool fancy change you did. Click again. Oh, I blew it up.
I took that change out.
Oh, good.
I was preparing for stage 2.
Can you handle stage 2? Equals this, and then fat arrow. And then we hit. Okay, so there's the fat arrow now. It didn't blow up, so that's good.
Yet.
Then we reload. And we go click Bob. Yay, it worked! We did it on our first try.
Woohoo.
That makes it very proud of ourselves.
I don't
Cool.
know how you call that first try, but okay.
All right, well, that's pretty cool. So stage 2 keeps it bound here. That was biting me in one of my projects not too long ago. That bit me. And I didn't realize that that's how you solve it.
Got to go to stage 2.
Actually,
You
it
probably
was
just weren't ready at the time.
oh, I was still trying to handle stage 1. It was actually in Twitter Minion whenever we were trying to figure out why is this being lost in all of the context.
Yeah, Twitter Minion was a real butthole,
It was.
but we got to figure it out.
That's cool. Well, I think that's a good place for us to pause. I mean, we've gone over our hour and a half, but that's cool. But hey, everyone that's in the stream, we try to stream Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays from 9 p.m. to 10:30, and that's Mountain Standard Time. So it is 10:49 right now. So an hour and a half ago is when we start. Please follow if you want to stay up to date with whenever we go live again. And once again, if you subscribe, you guys can request a lesson of your choice, and we will dive into it and try to figure it out. But yeah, appreciate you guys coming.
Rid of the constructor.
And for anyone who's interested, we do have a Discord channel that we keep conversations going outside of the stream, and you guys are all welcome to join in. I will copy that and put that here. But feel free to come and party, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you, Lehigh, for being a part of the stream.
Woohoo! Yeah, it was fun.
Appreciate it. And JMIRS 125, thanks for following. We'll catch you guys next time.